Attorney Hall, why should you be mayor?
Thank you very much. You know, you have to love these forums. A couple weeks ago, they had one out at the Irish Center, and being a first-generation Irish-Italian, I had a right to be there. And everybody in the stage wanted to be Irish. Apparently tonight, everybody wants to be independent now that Ed's in the race. Isn't it funny? You know, Ed, again, I do welcome you in this race, and I'm looking forward to debating the issues administratively with you, and I haven't been able to do that up until now with many of the other candidates on this race. The people of San Francisco are going to have a great opportunity now to weigh in and see what's behind his campaign, what's behind my campaign, and all of the other candidates up here. I personally feel that San Francisco is being run by the same political machine of pay-to-play insiders that has been running this town for 20 years.
That's right!
I'm not so concerned about Ed's broken promise to the candidates up here about not to run, because I never believed the masquerade to start with. However, I am concerned about the promise that he took when he took the oath of office to represent all San Franciscans for the benefit of the people. And it bothers me that the people behind his campaign are the same gang of Democratic insiders. Why am I running for mayor? I'm not running for higher office. I've never been part of a political party, and everything I've accomplished has been through working coalitions between the right and left. My platform is simple. It's based upon 6 elements of 35 years experience. The elimination of systemic corruption, budgetary and fiscal accountability and responsibility, administrative accountability, the creation of jobs in small business, safe, clean streets, and an honest, open, transparent government that, guess what, folks, is serving you first and not politics. That's why I'm running. Thank you.
Attorney Hall for mayor, thank you. Bevan Dufty, why should you be on there?
Well, I feel a little clueless because I thought Tony was going to say everybody up here wants to be gay, so I'm a pretty happy camper, right? I'm a 56-year-old gay man who's alive, and I just want to speak personally, and my child is here, Sydney is here, who's being raised in this neighborhood, and I've achieved dreams that I never thought were possible. I worked for politicians, some great ones, for 27 years, didn't have family, and never really thought that I'd have the ability to run for office. And I came here in 1971 with my mom, because she couldn't figure out how we were going to pay for me to go to college, and I wound up going to Berkeley, and at the time it was $212.64 a quarter, very different from now. And we went to Glide the first month, and it's amazing to me that 40 years later, Cecil is still here showing us what leadership can do. And then in '74, and I wasn't out yet, I went to work at UN Plaza, and it was kind of a, fun building, and it will be again. And I used to sneak up to Polk Street for lunch all the time, and I didn't know why, but that was the gay epicenter of San Francisco. I did know why, I guess I just wasn't admitting it to myself. And then I went to Washington, D.C., and it was a city that was so deep in the closet. You come out through like peeling an onion. It's just layer after layer after layer until you finally come out. And then to come back here in '93 and help Susan Leal get appointed and go to work for her, to read Harvey Milk's book that first week, and to realize that Ann Cronenberg worked the floor above me, and to know what San Francisco is really about, and to see the Lavender Sweep in 1994 when 3 LGBT supervisors were elected, Carol Minkton, Tom Amiano, and Susan Leal, and Lawrence Wong and Leslie Katz were elected. I want to thank the people here. This community has been hard on me and critical at times, and I deserved it. And I just want to say, in running for mayor, I will admit the mistakes that I make. I will not have a glass jaw, and I will try and be honorable as I move forward and respectfully ask the covenant to have your vote. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Bevan Dufty. Supervisor, Chiu.
Since this has been an amazing night of audience participation, I'm going to ask All of you who were not born here in San Francisco, could you raise your hand? Okay. Like all of you, 15 years ago, after I graduated from law school, I moved to San Francisco because this city is a beacon to the rest of the world for our values of diversity and our values of tolerance. This is why I worked for a number of years as a civil rights attorney and as a criminal prosecutor, thinking about issues of social justice. Like many of you, I was also attracted to aspects of San Francisco around our innovation, which is why I helped to start a small business that I ran until I was elected to office. And like many of you who are neighborhood activists, I care deeply about our neighborhoods, which is why I worked as a neighborhood association leader. I ran for office because City Hall has not been as functional as it needs to be. And I am proud of the fact that in my 3rd year as a president of your Board of Supervisors, we are getting things done. I'm proud to have championed budget reform, ethics legislation, the development of thousands of new units of affordable housing, the creation of new jobs, from helping to keep companies like Twitter and Zynga here, by working with Gavin Newsom to make sure that we win the America's Cup. But at the end of the day, this election, in part, is about one thing. A number of years ago, I sat in this theater to watch the Harvey Milk movie. And whether you are gay or straight, Christian or atheist, black or white, yellow or brown, green or pink, everyone in that theater was crying. Because we came together around our San Francisco values. We came together around who we are. And while I do, obviously, we all understand there are divisions in this room. We need leadership, and I hope we will elect leadership that is committed to bringing folks together, finally, so we can continue to be the most amazing city in the entire world. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Supervisor John Avalos. Why should you be mayor?
Well, someone just tweeted me and said that I'd be a great gay mayor. That's news to me, but I want to be if I'm mayor, I want to be the friendliest, gay-friendliest mayor possible. I actually used to live in this neighborhood. I lived above the Castro Country Club on 18th Street, right here around the corner. I also live on Douglas Street up here. I live in Herman as well. I'm very familiar with the neighborhood. It's one of the most exciting neighborhoods in San Francisco. And it's so great to be here in the Castro. I've seen so many movies in this neighborhood, in this very theater, and it's so great to be home in a way. I'm running for mayor because I want to change how we do our business in San Francisco. I am not part of the political establishment. I actually come into politics through social work and community organizing. My work before getting involved with City Hall was helping neighborhood residents to make sure they had the best of city service that they could have coming from City Hall. Working with children, youth and families, the Coleman Advocates and Children and Youth. I actually also worked at Columbia Park Boys and Girls Club. I was doing outreach to high school students at Mission High School here, right across from Dolores Park. When I was living on Herman Street, I was working at the San Francisco Conservation Corps, helping young people to find housing and to get jobs in the construction industry. I truly bring community service work and community organizing to City Hall. That is a great change to how we do our business at City Hall. I want to make sure that San Francisco City Hall can be much more transparent than it really is. I want to make sure that I can create an administration with your help that's going to bring out the best talents of our residents and our city workers to bring out the best of San Francisco. I would be delighted to have your support in that effort. Thank you very much.
Supervisor John Avalos, and finally, Michela, Alioto-Pier, why should you be mayor?
Thank you, Liam. Thank you, Eureka Valley. Thank you, Duboce Triangle. Again, thank you to the beautiful Castro Theater. At the turn of the century, my great-grandfather came to San Francisco as an 8-year-old boy from Sicily. He got his first job lighting lampposts at Fisherman's Wharf, worked really, really hard, and soon was cleaning decks on fishing boats, and then became a fisherman. Then he raised enough money, or saved enough money to buy his first boat, and then his second boat and his third boat, and by the time he was in his early 20s, he had a bunch of them. When the 1906 earthquake hit, my great-grandfather took his boats and he filled them up with people and took them out into the middle of the bay to keep them safe from the fire. It was on that very last fishing boat that he met my great-grandmother, and that they sat and watched San Francisco burn, only to come back to our beautiful shores to help rebuild it. San Francisco is a place that has given us so much. As a member of the Board of Supervisors, I focus primarily on job growth, and I heard when I mentioned the biotech payroll tax exemption, there were a few boos in the audience. But I want to tell you how we got there. In 1981, I broke my back in a ski lift accident, and I can't walk. And I will say this, Harvey Milk is one of my heroes, because every single time he talked about the rights of gays and lesbians and transgenders, he also talked about the rights of the disabled community. But I will also say that it is because of that as we watched every single biotech company leave San Francisco, when I passed that thing, we had one left, and yet we had invested millions into Mission Bay. Now we have 72. We created hundreds of building trades jobs. When we find the cure for AIDS, and when we find the cure for neurological regeneration, I want it to happen here. I want it to come out of San Francisco. And so as we move forward in this race, it is very important that we not look at San Francisco in a caretaker position, but that we look at the innovative possibilities of the ideas that we all come up with and where we want San Francisco to go. Because we are the greatest city in the world, but we can have a huge impact on millions of people by what we do here.
Michela, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to just say this. This would not have happened tonight without two neighborhood associations and kind donations. There will be buckets on the way out. If you'd like to donate to the Duboce Triangle and Eureka Valley Neighborhood Associations, thank you to them for putting this on. And ladies and gentlemen, one more time, our candidates: Dennis Herrera, Joanna Reese, Mayor